Okay, today our first task will be to get data from backend, and we need to place data in frontend. And all of you can use a one mega. Can you remember? I have given a one dummy API. Okay, that you can use also, and that API you can use. And otherwise, and actually, I have generated on API. Whether that is work still active or not, need to check. 1 minute. Let me check in cloud environment one time. Otherwise, all of you can use that cloud environment also. Okay, so I have created an API, and so that all of you can accept from remote, and that is the purpose. Actually, I have created an API. Let me check whether it is active or not. Okay, instance is one is instance RDS. Okay. So that which DB I have created, that has been. Okay, today we can start work with the one API, and then I'll start. I'll need to configure in AWS environment. Okay, can anybody have that URL, which is a dummy API you have used during our HTTP client? Anybody have? Mega, do you have that API link?
Yes, sir, I'm seeing.
Please share that link. And we can use it for temporarily, at least for view employee. Today we are going to do view employee. Please share it. Dummy sample REST API. Okay, this is the, I think. Okay, this is the we have used. What is this actually? Dummy sample API. Okay, this API we can use.
So Sanjay share in the chat box.
Okay, I got it. Okay, this is the API. Today we want to get that API in our, okay, think it is our employee list, and that is a 4 field, and we will match and we will do for timing and exact DB. I have already created, or that I will active actually. Anyway, user ID, title, body, user ID, title, body. Okay, so what should you do? Everybody, you can test your everything is working properly. You can test with the Postman tool. Everybody, you can test with the Postman tool whether it is working properly. You can test in browser or you can test in Postman tool, but not everything. All function you cannot test in the browser, because insert without update it is not possible through browser. The value is coming here, but today we want to consume this data. We want to consume this data in service layer first. See, today we are going to do the service layer. Okay, everybody, okay, need to focus on now service layer. Employee service. In the service layer, okay, and I hope all of you will be who have attended the previous session, the RxJS feature we have used. Is it right? Okay, Mega?
Yes, sir.
RxJS features. So
Yes,
we
sir.
should use the RxJS feature, and for this, so we are going to create the first method. We are going to create the first method. So what should we do first at the beginning? It is called dependency injection we need to use. And here we need to use, it is a HTTP method. It is a HTTP method. So for that, we need to add, what is the first task? We need to app module. Here we need to write a HTTP client module. HTTP we need to add HTTP client module. Okay, HTTP client module you need to add.
So import also.
Is there any import option is here by default? Okay, so you need to add first HTTP client module, and then what is the next steps? Next step is the service, and here we need to create. Here you need to create the HTTP client.
Method.
Okay, so here we need to create the method. The first, what is the first method? First method is to get all employees. So get MP lists. This is the first method. At get employee lists, we need to get all value, all employee lists. Okay. So here actually we need to use the RxJS feature. Okay. So what we need to do step by step. First things we need to do a URL, and which URL we are going to call. Which URL we are going to call. So we are going to call this URL.
Yes, sir.
This is the URL. This is the URL we are going to call. What is the next? Next is actually, yes, we have created the private HTTP client. Okay, so it is a, we are creating the object of HTTP client. Now what we need to do, we need to use the get employee list. First method is employee list. So we need to return table observable of employee array. Observable of employee array. Get employee list, observable employee array.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Yes, sir. Sir, something message from Vasul in the chat box, sir.
Okay, so ठीक है. Okay, so take rest. So here in observable, we need to use the observable. Observable from where we can get observable. It is a features of RxJS feature. So you need to import it RxJS observable RxJS. Next is the employee. An employee, you have created an object an employee. Okay. What is the next task? Next task is return type. Return. Okay. In return, we need to return this .http client .get employee. Okay, this is the task. Okay, this HTTP client, you can make it as private. HTTP client, then get dot employee array, and this dot base URL. This is the base URL. Okay, so what is next? This employee array, it is showing some error in the array, employee array. But in employee array, so far it is a blank. So here, what we need to do? Here we need to create a constructor. Here we need to create a constructor. Constructor. Okay. In constructor, you need to create the variables. Okay, this is the variable. One is user ID. Okay, in constructor export class ID. Okay. First is a string. Okay, so we need to declare ID, first name, last name, email. Okay, these are the one variable, two variables, second, third. Okay, so this is the object. So this is okay. This is the URL. This is this character you can write or you cannot write. It is completely okay. But since you are doing the project now, last time during your first learning, I asked all of you, you are not required to write this single quote character, special character. But now I am asking all of you to do it. Okay, to do it for betterment, better coding. So dollar symbol, this dot base URL. So this is the base URL. So it is getting all data here. And what is the type of data? It is employee array object. It is the employee array object. So this is this value I need to connect from component. I need to connect from component. Okay. In component layer, what should we do? Employee list. Okay. In constructor, I need to create the object of service layer. So what should we do? Private object of service layer. What is the service layer class? The service layer class name employee service. To service. Okay, so we have created constructor and now we need to get the data. Okay, we need to get the all data from backend. So what we should do? We need to call it in from component layer, and during from ng on in each method we can call. Okay, get employee. That we can do one method. Okay, get employee, it should be method will be employee lists. Okay, need to create an object. Okay, here in employee class, you need to create an object employee. Okay, you need to initialize this object. You need to initialize this object. This is the employee service, the employee, this dot employee data, the employee array is missing. Okay, okay. Okay, it is a new, but it is employee array. Okay, so it is showing a message that employee property has no initializer and is not defined any assigned to constructor. So what we need to do is not defined in constructor. We need to do need to change in Angular JSON. One bit package.json. Here you need to strict equal to false. Then what will happen? It will not expect your initialization will not expect it. Okay, so we need to check whether you have got data in component layer or not. You have, okay, most probably you have got data in component layer, so you can write it, you can call it from ng on init, because init method it automatically calls. We can check in log also. With JSON. Okay, let it start. Okay, we can check whether data is coming to up to component service layer to component layer, service layer to component layer or not. Okay, everybody need to check the console. So data is coming here. If you notice, all data is placing in here. Okay, all data is coming here. Okay, so data has been reached to your component layer. I have given a console.log, data has been reached to here. So what is the next task? Next task is actually I need to display this data in the page. I need to display in the data in the page. So I need to write the code here for to display. So display in the page. So to display in the page. Okay, here actually fields are different. Okay, so here in employee list, one is user ID, second is ID, ID, third is user ID, and next title and body, title and body. Username, Okay, so you have noticed it is getting all data in the page. It is getting all data in page. Okay. This is getting all data in page. So it has been populating all data. So today your task is to complete this section. Okay, now you need to complete this section, and all of you do it in hands-on now. Okay, I hope it is clear. And anywhere if it is a not clear, you can tell me and I need to correct. So this is the component layer. Then you need to do the component. It is a controller layer, and controller layer, what we have done, you need to understand each and every line here. And here actually first we are creating the object initialization. Okay, employees object, it is an array of object, and then we are creating the instance of the service layer, and then we are creating a method. This method dot get employee list, it is a, and then subsequent data, this data is storing the employees, and finally we are checking a print statement here. And then actually if you go to the page, this page task is to iterate. It is a how to do ng for loop. Ng for in structural directive you have learned ng for loop. So here is a, you need to just iterate these values. You need to iterate those values. I hope it is clear to all of you, but all of you now you need to do start now in your system. Then you will be able to learn. Okay, Megha, any doubt here, or it is clear to every
Clear,
line?
sir.
Okay, so next task, I will ask you can share your screen and so that everybody can follow you. Okay, so you can.
So you share your screen. We will see and write.
Okay, that's then in that case I can I am to share first service there. Okay,
Yes, sir.
first let me service there, and but all of you type it and do it. Okay, before that you need to create 4 attribute you need to add. Okay, first you do, everybody do this layer first and confirm me. Okay. Because the open API we are connecting, and actually it has a 4 attribute: user ID, title, and body. You just write it. Okay, whenever done, please confirm. Whenever done, please inform.
Done, sir.
Next, you need to create the service there. Okay, just only this section you do. Okay, complete this section, and everybody type it manually. created, you need to comment ng G S for service S and you write an employee. So it will create employee service. Is it done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want to hear from others also.
No, sir, last two line is left.
Okay, complete it.
Done, sir.
Okay, very good. So next task is we need to add the component layer. We need to component layer. Okay, in component layer, first need to learn because I need to initialize this is the initialize, but if you do it, it will show some warning because if you initialize something, it will be you need to equal to null or something. But if I that is changing one changes, what is the changes in first you can go to tsconfig.json. Here it is by default it is true, but I made it to false because it is not strict. The strict equal to 2. I have changed it to false, so it warning will be done. And next you need to do employee equal to it is a you are initializing it object employee it is a you are just declaring it is a null, and then you need to create this is the object employee is equal to data. Okay. So all of you do it in your system, write this code, and I am calling it ng on unit. Ng on unit means by default ng init method runs by default. So it will call the get employees and get employees. This is the definition method. These dot employee service dot get employee lists and subscribe. Okay, all of you write this line of code and it is written here. Okay, everybody write it. All of you are writing code.
Yes, sir.
Okay, console.log json.stringify we have written to test whether data is coming to in component layer, and then we will be print to in template or view layer. Okay, all of you have done. Mega, Vinita,
Yes, sir.
Paran.
Doing, sir.
Okay. Any line, if you do not understand, do not hesitate to ask me. Okay, you've done.
Sir. Yes, yes.
Okay, very good. And anybody pending, please come forward. Okay, so can you change now? Vinita, Karan, Sanjay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it is the last steps. This is the last steps. Okay, so I am sharing this HTML code. So it will be helpful for all of you. Okay, all of you can take this help of HTML code, and or you can write by manual type also. Okay, everybody do it. I have sent to in chat box also. This HTML section of code you need to write. And here we are doing iterating. We are doing iterating. It is a list value. This is a list value. If it is a list value and we are iterating a particular object, employee is an object value. Employee is an object value. Employee is this list value. So now we have done employee.user ID, employee.id, employee.mail, employee.body. Okay, so everybody completed this section. Okay, everybody completed. Okay, whenever complete, please inform. Okay, have you completed? Anybody completed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can you share your screen now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, great. Data is coming. Very
Yes, sir.
good. Okay. And I hope since you have a prior knowledge, and so it is quite straightforward.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay. Anybody others done? Sanjay, have you done? Karan, are you doing?
No, sir. I'm just troubleshooting my issue, sir.
Okay. Okay. Sanjay. Hello, Sanjay. Okay. So Mega, what you can do? Can you do explain to everybody? Okay. Okay. Can you open and explain to everybody what you have under every layer? A quick demonstration for everybody.
First, in employee service.ts, we have to export the employee service, and here we have to write the private base URL. This base URL is we have get from Postman tool. This is the URL which we can see how it's running in Postman tool. See here, if we place this and if we write do send, we are getting the user ID, title, and body here.
Yes.
This
Yes.
we have to get in. Now the employee list, observable, and employee. Here we have to write this code. Now in app module.ts. Now we have to go for app module.ts. Here we have to import HTTP client module, and in up we have to write HTTP client module also. We have to import that, and in last here we have to stay where strict is written, we have to write here true. In place of true, we have to write false, that all the restrict command will be false. And now in employee.ts, same we have to write for a private get employee. This employee, this we have to write for the Jensen strict file. This
JSON.
employee JSON string file. This employee, we have to write this for the same perspective. And in HTML, we have to design the page where what the heading will be in user ID, title, body. And same we have to design for ng4. We have to write this program, and now and then the program will run like this. That's all, sir.
Okay. So very good. So anybody have any doubt? Is it clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today we have covered some from backend to we have fetched the data. Next day we will learn create employee, and there is another 3 method: delete employee, update employee, and view individual employee. So these are the functionality we will do. Okay. And today we are ending here, and definitely again tomorrow we will do the next part also. Okay, so thank you to all of you, and I hope upcoming 3-4 days after everybody will be accustomed with the project. And okay, so for that purpose you can ready everybody. Okay, so quitting the session, I have all of your employee ID, email ID, so video will be uploaded, and okay, all email ID will be shared.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Good night, sir.
good night.
Good night, sir.
Good
Thank you,
night.
sir.
Good night. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and one request to all of you, there is a Siddhartha Pradhan video. It is too longer video. But till everybody, like all of you have watched the video of the Prashanto, and I appeal to all of you, and all of you keep, whenever you got some spare time, you can go through that video, and it is a big motivation for all of us also, because the mechanical engineer, after pass out 2 years, 1 year sitting idle, not doing anything, and today that mechanical engineer dominating in the market as a DevOps mechanical engineer to DevOps engineer. And he is a Siddhartha Pradhan, and I appeal to all of you, watch his video also. Okay, and tomorrow at 2:30, I hope all of you got notification.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow all at 2:30, everybody need to join, and for that new concept, and actually that call I will also be present. Okay, myself will be also present. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.